So here we are, guys, outside Ben's tiny house number 3. Has it got a name? Did you end up giving it a name, or?
Oh, I called it Lil Red.
Lil Red?
Lil Red is in for all the red, and it was so little.
It isn't, which is lovely. The red really sets it off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The other thing that I personally love, you guys, is the cedar feature wall. There's the feature wall on the front and the back, as you'll see, but this is using that very special Japanese technique, shosugi-ban, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
So is this the first time you've tried this technique, or?
First time, yeah.
And you're happy with how it came out?
Yeah, really happy with how it came out. We had to play around with some different cedar, but yeah, and there's a lot more boards that got burnt that aren't here. But
I can imagine. So
we just used a farm flamethrower that you fill up with kerosene and pump, and that's what you use to kill weeds with.
Oh, okay.
You can do propane; it's a lot more controlled. Yeah. But this is what we had.
So is it a tricky? Would you say is it a difficult process to do? Or it's pretty straightforward.
Just lay the boards out and burn them. You've obviously got to not torch them too much. You really want to just get them kind of just going and then put them out.
Yeah,
and
as we're saying, you've got that ability to control it, because I see some darker ones and some lighter ones. So it just depends on your personal preference with what sort of look you're going for, I guess. But yeah, it's amazing. And this is cedar as well.
Yeah, Canadian cedar. It's all recycled. It's actually left over from the last one. Okay. And yeah, you can control the burn, and then you control the darkness or the lightness.
Sure.
Brush it back, wash it, and then it's got 3 coats of clear gloss.
Excellent. Yeah,
you can tint it or do lots of different things to it.
And as you say, I guess the water just beads off it, and it's just like
it's beautiful. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Excellent. So in terms of the specs, what are we sitting at here? So how long is the trailer that you built it on? I mean, how long is the deck of the
deck's 4.3 metres.
4.3 metres. And is it the full 2.5 metres wide, or?
It's only 2.1 wide.
2.1, okay.
Yeah, this was from an old 80s caravan that I bought for $100 off the side of the road.
Jeez, $100.
On Peninsula, and spent another $1,000 fixing it up.
Excellent.
And yeah,
even though we do great quality trailers, you guys, you can't compete with $100 for a trailer, can you? So
he was happy for me to just tow it away, I think.
That's it. But it does give you an idea. This is 2.1, so you guys know the legal limit is 2.5 wide. With our trailers, we go 2.4 to give you that 50 mil on either side for your cladding. But it does show you that, and you'll see how spacious this is inside, but you've got an extra foot on another side that you could go and still be legal.
Absolutely.
So plenty of options there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got cedar on the back, and the windows, are they all reclaimed? Are they Gumtree or eBay finds?
This was from the side of the road, and this was without a frame. I created that frame out of pine, and then painted it up in red and did all the ceiling around it.
Excellent.
Which I was lucky. This is I think this was an eBay from a guy who'd torn a whole lot of doors out. I just sanded it all back. It was white originally, and then painted it and trimmed it up.
Excellent. So you constantly, which is your treasure trove? Is it Gumtree or eBay, or do you haunt both, or?
Gumtree's cheaper.
Is it? Okay.
Because there's no fees to sell.
Okay.
And usually people just want to get rid of stuff.
Yeah.
eBay, it's a bit tighter and there's fees, and people usually want to try to make a bit of money out of it.
Yeah, excellent.
But then, you bounce between and salvage yards.
Yeah. Okay.
And then obviously you can pick new stuff up here and there. But
excellent.
Yeah, I mean, look for some point of difference. I'm trying to use recycled materials more than going and buying things from a sustainable and environmental point of view.
Look, I asked our Facebook community a couple of weeks ago, what would you rather do? Are you planning on just buying everything new, all the materials brand new, or would you rather use as much reclaimed and recycled materials as you can? And the majority of the people that responded said, no, we want to use the recycled, reclaimed, not only from an environmental point of view that it's better to reuse existing products, but let's face it, and as we'll get to when we talk about how much this thing cost you, it saves a lot of money by using recycled materials as well.
Yeah, you save a lot of money.
Yeah.
But then the other thing
Yeah.
is, like, I probably spent 15 hours stripping that door back
Yeah.
and then recoating it and then recutting it to size because it was a funky, out of square size.
Oh, okay.
You could go to Bunnings and buy one for $50 off the rack, but
Yeah.
then you have a lot more character and charm and
True.
and these kind of things where it's an old chaff cutter where
Okay.
they had blades that cut chaff.
Oh, okay.
So there's stories behind these
Yeah.
things, and you get to meet people, and it's
Absolutely.
a lot more interesting.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
There we go. Alrighty, so we've got 2.1 wide, 4.3 long,
4.3 long,
4.3 long, and how
3.5 high.
3.5, so from the ground to the highest point?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So guys, to give you an idea, I'm 5'7", so 3.5. So if you really want to push the legal limit, which is 4.3, you can go another 800 mil over the top of that. So it gives you some sense of scale. This is not a small structure by any means, but you can go yay big if you really want to. So we got the cedar on the side, and coming around the side, so you opted for the sides to go with corrugated iron.
Yeah, that's right.
Was that a cost factor, or just a design factor, or a weight issue, or?
Probably more of a aesthetic design look, because
Sure.
I wanted to have a different kind of tiny house
Yeah.
than the other ones I'd done. This was more of
Right.
having something like more of a pot, something more aesthetic,
Yeah.
cubey looking.
Okay.
I like the angular roof and just the square line
Yeah,
to it, so
absolutely.
I decided to have something quite clean.
Yeah, and of course the other advantage of the corrugated iron is it acts as a good bit of bracing material on the exterior as well.
Yeah, that's right.
So just talk about the framing for a moment. So this, I mean, let's talk about the number that everyone's going to be wanting to know about. How much does this thing weigh as is, fully digged out like this?
960 kilos.
960 kilograms, you guys. So for those of you that are freaking out, like Lisa and I am, about how we're going to keep the weight down, it is possible. So how did we achieve this? So in terms of starting from the beginning with the frame, so did you go for timber or steel frame?
Steel frame.
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. So it's obviously a lot lighter, and was it fairly straightforward to put together? Did you get it flat packed, or?
I bought it in pieces from Bunnings.
Okay.
So it's like the same material that you'd use to make a partition wall in an office.
Okay.
It's, I think, 0.8 mil steel.
Yeah.
It's not that dissimilar to that,
Okay.
which is a flashing,
Yeah.
and it's bent. So you've got a bottom track, and then you've got all your upright studs,
Yeah.
and then you can put it together with tech screws. So
Excellent.
you don't even have to pre-drill. You can use self-drilling screws, and you can make all your frame up on the ground,
Yeah.
which is what I did. Make all your spaces for your windows or doors, and frame it up on the ground next to your tiny house or next to your trailer, and you just lift it straight up and pin it on the bottom and
Yeah.
go from there. Pretty much
Excellent.
like your timber stud wall,
Yeah. Okay.
but in steel. It's about a third. I think it's
Yeah.
about a third lighter.
Excellent.
It's cheaper,
Yeah.
and
And you don't have any issues with studs that are bowed or bent or warped, or everything's perfectly straight, I guess, isn't it?
you do. I mean, because it's only 0.8 mil thick, you get a lot of flex.
Oh, okay.
But I cross brace, so
Yeah.
that gives you a lot of strength.
Okay.
Um,
And did you, over and above the steel frame, did you brace it? As we see on YouTube everywhere, they do the timber frame and then they cover the whole thing, sheath it in plywood. So did you sheath it in plywood of any sort on the exterior of the frame?
No. I cross braced inside with diagonals, the same thing as what I used to frame it.
Right.
And I had a good play around with it to see if it'd rack or move, and it was pretty tight.
Okay.
Once you lock in your four corners and then you get your roof on,
Yeah.
and you structurally get it as a tight box, the whole
Yeah.
thing moves as one. It doesn't really rack or have that torsion.
Okay. Excellent.
So I didn't do that. I've done that on one tiny house I've done.
Right.
On the inside I used brace board.
Yeah.
But I found that after I started putting my cladding on, it tightened it up even more.
Yeah. So
And
the
then
corrugated
even-
iron straight on the frame. And did you do the moisture barrier, the house wrap as well, or
No, I didn't.
no? Is it just corrie straight on the steel frame?
Yeah, straight on the steel frame.
Okay.
And then I used a bat on the inside.
Okay.
in
You were
that
saying earlier,
cavity
was it earth wool that you were using on the
Yeah,
inside?
used earth wool, so it comes in a roll and you can tear it off and cut it to any size. So
Right.
because there are angled parts of the frame,
Yeah,
you
sure.
can just put it in there.
Okay.
It's pretty well insulated.
And the interior, as we'll see, it's you've covered the interior, but what was the interior lining? Did you were saying you went for a thin plywood, or?
Yeah, just a 3mm ply. I think
Okay.
most of the caravans in Australia, they tend to have that, or they put a melamine finish on them, or a coating on. I just used a 3mm ply.
Yeah.
And that gives you enough coverage and enough strength, but keeps your weight down.
Excellent. Yeah, which is all important. And again, these windows are lovely. They really open the place up. But what are these? Another eBay or Gumtree find, or?
They're from my mum and dad, who got them donated to them from a friend who they're from an internal wine rack door.
Okay. Here you go.
So yeah, there are a few, and I use these on. You'll see if you look at the other tiny house I did that Paul has.
Yeah.
I've used the same 2 matching doors as well, because when you open up, they're big,
Yeah.
and they really open the whole. They give you that sense of what I think what tiny house is all about. You're trying to reconnect with nature and not be in. You want to have the outside come in, and they really open up really about a third of the whole wall.
Absolutely, and that's what I've noticed. I mean, as beautiful as the US-based tiny houses are, a lot of them, they're in the mountains of Montana and Colorado, and they're beautiful, but they're very much sort of cabin in the woods sort of feel with smaller windows. Whereas with the Australian climate, you've got the option of putting, French doors, dead great big windows, and opening the place up to the outside, which is great. So Lisa, come around to the front. We'll have a look at the feature wall at the front here. So this has been clad in cedar as well.
Yeah, cedar again, and then I think that's an eBay cedar window.
Excellent.
And then I've just done all my framing in pine, which I've painted red to tie in with the flashing, which again I've sprayed up red, so it all kind of ties in together.
Excellent. And I've got to ask Ben, what's that window up the top? Is that what I think it is?
That's a Fisher and Paykel dryer door.
Excellent.
Yeah, all the way from New Zealand.
Deke, you'd love this. So, well, I was just chatting to Derek Diedrichsen the other night, and that would be right up his alley. He does things with washer doors and Tupperware containers to make windows and all sorts.
Oh, look, you can do anything.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. So that's the outside. Oh, and one feature we've got to show the people from outside, because this was, as you said, designed to be an Airbnb unit up in Byron Bay. Nice, warm, tropical climate up there. We've actually got an outdoor shower, haven't we?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we've got an outdoor shower. I'm not going to stand under it right now, but yeah, that works pretty nice. You got a decent bit of pressure.
You do too.
And you can just have it out in nature, or you can put an enclosure around if you want it.
That's it. Just the thing after you come back from the beach after you've been for a surf, isn't it?
That's right, yeah, and then you just turn it off and you can fold this up. This goes in a little
bundle and
little
packs away there.
cabinet and packs away in there.
Yeah.
Like that. Door closes in on him. And that's pretty neat.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nice. So so you've got a water tank. So the water inlet tank is down there. So what sort of size water tank is that?
That's your standard, I think it's about 120 litre underbody caravan tank.
Excellent.
So you could put multiple of those if you like.
Yeah.
And then your fills there, and then you can run a pump. This is a 12 volt solar system, so there's a 250 watt panel on the roof that's going into a deep cycle 100 amp hour battery.
Okay.
That runs your pump, and that runs your lights and your Bluetooth and any charging ports.
Okay. So it's got enough for the lights and charge, your tablet or mobile phone, run a Bluetooth speaker, that kind of thing.
Correct.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. Well, that's the outside of Little Red. So what we'll do is we'll shoot around the outside and we'll have a look at the inside, and we'll see. Or we can go this way.
All right. Go that way.
better idea.
And there's your there's another little feature, and it was tricky. This is what you get when you try to do something different.
Yeah.
Trying to fit in a 15 amp inlet so you can plug in if you're somewhere where you wanted to run your 240 volt appliances.
Sure.
So I just moulded a bit of Canadian Oregon there and fitted it on there, and that then runs into your double power point inside.
Excellent. Good stuff. Wonderful. Alright, so we'll head inside as Lisa follows us around.
Yeah.
We're getting good at this, aren't we, Lisa? Right.
Getting there.
Yeah. So, and the first thing that strikes me when you come into a place like this is it's not tiny at all. It's very spacious. I mean, there's plenty of room here. There's probably good 2.5 meters, close on 3 meters of ceiling height internally.
Yep.
And you've got, you said you've got a couple of power points down there. You've got the solar panels for the lights, so LED lights obviously running for the lights. And what's the wall covering that you've used? I know you've used the 3mm ply on the walls, but is this like a linen that you've covered it with?
Yeah, I work in interior design in window furnishings, so this was left over. This was a curtain shear from a job, and they over-ordered fabric, so
Excellent.
I decided to line it in this linen. I was going to line it in cheesecloth, or in like a calico, or even like a hessian, like old coffee sacks, to give it a real rustic feel. And,
we've got some of that, haven't we, honey?
Yeah, we do.
I had this, and I thought this is really nice. And the grey, ended up doing the grey theme. So staying on my charcoal beams.
Yeah.
Did that kind of grey feature wall there.
Excellent.
And did the carpet.
So this feature wall here, is that cedar also, or?
No, that's ply lining board.
Oh, okay. That's the boards that come in the sheets, or is it individual boards?
Oh no, individual boards that are tongue and groove.
Okay.
And then I stained them and then sealed them. So and then they're just glued and screwed straight onto the steel frame.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the ply is glued and screwed on the steel frame as well.
Sure.
And then you've got the bats in between.
Excellent. Okay. And under the loft here, so can I ask a real question? How tall are you?
6'1".
6'1". So I'm 5'7", Ben's 6'1". So we've got at least 6'3" or so of space here.
Right. Yeah.
6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, 6'4".
Yeah. Which is plenty of room. And you've got would that be a double bed upstairs?
It's a double, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Which is excellent, which is all you really need. And you've got a ladder over there that accesses the loft. Yeah. So you've got seating area. I believe this also can double as a bit of an extra bed.
Yeah, it's a single bed.
Okay.
And then underneath you've got storage.
Storage underneath.
Yeah.
So you got somewhere to hang out, you got somewhere to eat, you got somewhere to cook. And the only thing missing is the bathroom, which in a space this size is always going to be a challenge to fit in.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have fitted it in, but then it wouldn't really close up the space, and you wouldn't have the open feel that you do have in this place that you do now. So
yeah.
So a very functional kitchen. So we've got so the sink, so the pump runs the water for the sink.
There's your pump under here.
Yeah.
There's your pump there.
Okay.
It's quite small.
Yep.
And that's powered by the 12 volt deep cycle battery. You've got a bit of storage space there. You've got your normal kitchen with you slide outdoors, and you can put what not in there. You've got another one over there, so you've got lots of storage, and then you've just got empty space there.
Yep.
You've got your rubbish bin in there, and then in under there's your 100 amp hour deep cycle 12 volt battery.
Okay.
Which is running your pump.
Yep.
Your pump, there's a kill switch, so you don't want to have your pump connected all the time because it's a pressurized system.
Sure.
So I've just done that. If you had it sitting for a while and not using your pump, you can turn it off.
Okay.
It just stays pressurized, so as soon as you open the valve, turn it, the pump cuts in.
Excellent.
And then again, when you turn it off, the pump acts on pressure and just turns off.
Fantastic.
So it's just another little switch.
But look, there's plenty of storage there. I mean, as we discovered when we, when we spent 12 months, Lisa and I, living in the vintage caravan, it's amazing when you're living in such a small space. If you just pare down to what you actually need, I think we had like 4 plates, 4 bowls, 4 cups, 4 saucers, that kind of thing. You don't need a huge kitchen to store it all in.
Nope.
So it's very usable.
Yeah.
And a camping stove there as well if people want to cook up a bit of food.
Yeah, you can boil your noodles or do whatever you like, cook up and have a cup of tea or a coffee or whatever. Have your French press, and you can still have those luxuries.
That's it. Excellent.
And the little table, he just folds down flat. These kick in, and you've got more space there.
Yeah, more space as well.
Yeah.
Excellent.
You got a little reading light for your loft up there, and there's an aerial, so you can. We're listening to stable CFM. You can Bluetooth your phone.
Excellent. So, have you spent many nights in it yourself testing this one out, or?
Yeah.
And no issues with falling out the bed, or?
No. I always sleep on the outside. And one kid sometimes sleeps inside.
Yeah.
Probably, if you have kids, you might want to do some kind of balustrade. You could do maybe some wire or rope or something that can fold up or down.
Yeah.
If you have kids just dedicatedly up there.
Yeah. That's it. I think I even saw one with a cargo net, just so when they sleep, they just hook it up at night.
Yeah.
When they sleep, and then in the morning they can take it down. Yeah. So it keeps that open feel but you've still got that safety aspect at night.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
A little cargo net that just hooks up onto the beams. So excellent. So this now, guys, we will be putting the eBay listing and a link to a listing on our website for Little Red, which is actually up for sale. And what sort of price are you looking at for Little Red?
I'm looking at around 18,000, so I'm negotiable on that. But I think that's quite a reasonable price.
Absolutely, I think this will go to a good home, and someone will love it dearly. And so, we're not sure how long the eBay listing will be up for, but we hope we certainly plan on this video to have been up for quite a while on YouTube. So this will be up. And if it is still available, make sure you go check out the eBay listing or the listing on our website. But if it has been snapped up, then you just get to enjoy the tiny house tour that we're doing at the moment. So if people want to connect up with you and follow along with your adventures and builds, I believe you're on Instagram. Is that the best place to connect up with you?
Yeah, that's the best place, I think.
Okay, and what's your
contact me through that? I'm called Tiny House Project.
The Tiny House Project, or the Tiny House Project?
No, just Tiny House Project.
Okay, Tiny House Project on Instagram to connect up with Ben and see what he gets up to next. Well, thank you very much, Ben, for letting us come through, and it's been a pleasure to come down and see and see this for real, because I've seen photos of this floating around the internet for months, and so it's been good to finally be able to check it out. And thank you for your time, and we look forward to catching up with you on your next build.
Yeah, there will be another one.
There we go. All the best, guys. If you've got any questions, put it in the comments below, and make sure you head over to Ben's Instagram channel and connect up with him as well. All the best. This has been us. This has been another video. We'll see you guys soon. Cheers.
See ya.